If you want to stay cool this summer, you're definitely going to like this video. I'm going to be reviewing the Midea Duo, which is the largest portable air conditioner on the market today in the US. Now the best part is, it still plugs into just a regular 120 volt outlet, but it puts out 14,000 BTUs of cooling capacity. This model's got a lot of unique features, but the most important one is it is a true dual hose design. And you might be thinking that just looks like a single hose. Dual hoses look kind of weird, they're difficult to hook up. The Midea uses just a single hose, but within that they've got two separate air chambers. So you're getting the true dual hose design, but you have the simplicity of a single hose hookup. Most people don't realize dual hoses is where it's at. It's going to make the unit run cooler, be more efficient, more cooling output, with less energy to create it. This model is officially rated to cool up to 550 square feet. Now the average bedroom being 10 by 10 is just 100 square feet. I've been running this unit in my loft for the past 3 weeks, and I can tell you the best feature is the low noise. From about 10 feet away, it puts out around 56 decibels. That makes it one of the quietest air conditioners out there. And even standing right next to it, it's still only putting out 58 decibels from about 2 feet away. Next big question is, how much electricity is this beast going to use? Well, fortunately, it's an inverter-based air conditioner. That means it's going to ramp up and down depending on cooling needs. So in the middle of the night, you're going to use way less electricity. At its maximum setting, and it was using about 13 amps of power, or around 1,200 watts. This one has built-in Bluetooth. You can connect using the free app if you want. Now this isn't required. They also include a remote control that does all of the same things you can get in the app. But the app does give you a couple of benefits. You can actually turn this thing on and off remotely. The better option is to use the scheduling. So if you're going to school or you're working, you can program this thing to turn on and off when you're home. It's another great way you can save some money. Now in general, portable air conditioners are always going to be easier to install. And of course, you don't have to lift them in the window. But these guys took this install to a new level. Now I'm going to show you real world how I installed this thing myself, and you can adjust this to fit your own needs. You basically just open up the window, use the included bracket, plugs into the back of the hose, and then it slips right into the window. You've got a little channel there, and that's what keeps it in place. And it will fit all the common windows without making any modifications. But you can also flip this thing sideways. They give you a bracket, so if you've just got casement windows, you can also use those as well. Now these guys give you everything for a proper installation, and by that I mean using things like weather stripping, adhesives, but real world when you've got kids and you're busy is oftentimes you're just going to put your portable air conditioner bracket in the window and close it up. Now if you've got this thing on a first floor, that's not going to be a good idea for security. You'll want to use a bracket or secure your window in some way. But if you're on an upper floor, I generally don't bother with that. I'm just going to put the bracket in the window, and you will see that I do have some small gaps where you can see some light. So people are probably worrying about bugs, and the reason I don't really have many problems without using the weather stripping is I generally would just pull my blinds down after the air conditioner is installed. And removing this at the end of the season, or if you want to take it out more often, is just as easy. So everything folds into the unit, and this is by far the easiest air conditioner you will ever install. This thing's even got a built-in filter. You don't have to buy anything to replace, just pop this out once in a while, and you can wash it off. And if you're old school, you don't want to mess with the remote control or the app, you don't really have to. The only thing you'll miss out on is things like the scheduling. It's got all the buttons on the front. You can even control these louvers. These vents are motorized. Now this might look like a gimmick, but in a big room, this is awesome. It directs the cool air up and down, and it really helps with the circulation. You can even turn all of those LEDs off at night, so this thing blacks out, and if you're trying to sleep, you're not going to get it woken up by any kind of blinking lights. And after using this thing for 3 weeks, I can tell you it is definitely putting out the 14,000 BTUs of cooling. The fan is super powerful. The room you're looking at here is the upstairs of my house. It gets really hot, and this thing is doing a fantastic job. The other great thing is this is not a brand new model. They actually came out with this last year, and it became a bestseller on Amazon. But if you look at the reviews, you're going to see a number of them that are negative. So I dug into those reviews to try to understand why were some of the people having such a bad time. Now this unit can be set up as just a dehumidifier, and I personally think people are doing that by mistake, and they're not just picking the cool mode, which allows this unit to exhaust the humidity and the water vapor right out in the hose. And while they do include this drain hose in the box, that's really only needed if you're using it as a standalone dehumidifier. I've had this unit running all week here in New Hampshire, and it has been super humid. Here's a screenshot of what we're at right now. We're at 90% humidity. That is insane. So you can draw your own conclusion, but for me, this thing is performing great, and I'm definitely not getting rid of this thing anytime soon. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already for more videos coming up.